Black Americans are free to think for themselves, provided they reach the conclusions Joy Reid approves. Joy Reid's Racial Loyalty Test by Mars Lewis, August 23, 2026. Joy Reid has apparently discovered the outer limit of Black independence. It is voting Republican. Reid recently explained that Black conservatives who receive support from the political right must humiliate your own people, express disdain for your own race, and display a certain amount of self-hatred. Reid skips the hard part. She offers no rebuttal on taxes, crime, immigration, education, religion, or the economy. She never considers that a Black American might examine Democratic policies and simply reject them. She diagnoses him instead. He hates himself. How convenient. Apparently, Black Americans possess complete intellectual agency right up until the moment they disagree with Joy Reid. Then something must have gone terribly wrong inside their heads. The most revealing words in Reid's tirade may be, "Your own people." Who exactly appointed Joy Reid to determine who somebody else's people are? A Black Republican has a family, neighbors, friends, colleagues, a community, a country, and his own conscience. Reid collapses all of this into racial political allegiance and then treats departure from the approved ideology as betrayal. Try applying this grotesque standard anywhere else. Does a white Democrat hate white people? Does a wealthy socialist hate wealthy people? Does a female Republican hate women? Of course not. We would recognize those arguments immediately as stupid because political beliefs are not hereditary characteristics. Yet Reid somehow resurrects this primitive reasoning for Black Americans and presents it as enlightenment. There is a word for assuming that someone's political beliefs should be determined by his skin color. That word is regression. The hypocrisy gets worse. Progressives have spent generations telling America that Black people must be recognized as individuals with agency rather than stereotypes attached to a racial category. Fine. They were right. Then let them have the agency. Celebrating Black independence while demanding ideological obedience is a contradiction. Telling people to think for themselves and then labeling them psychologically damaged the moment they do the same. Reid's treatment of Byron Donalds provides a particularly useful example. She accused him of effectively claiming Black Americans were better off during slavery and Jim Crow. That isn't what Donalds said. His controversial remarks concerned Black family structure during Jim Crow. He subsequently explicitly denied saying Black Americans were better off under Jim Crow. There are plenty of legitimate ways to criticize what Donalds actually said. Reid apparently found the imaginary version more useful. This is what makes her rhetoric so poisonous. It sorts people into loyal Black people and self-hating Black people, with Joy Reid standing at the door checking credentials. How progressive. There is something particularly condescending about insisting that Black conservatives couldn't possibly have arrived at conservatism honestly. They must be chasing approval. They must be selling somebody out. They must secretly despise themselves. Anything except the terrifying possibility that they listened to Democrats and said no. Joy Reid is entitled to say every hateful, divisive thing the First Amendment allows her to say. That freedom matters. So does ours. We are equally free to recognize racial condescension when we hear it, reject the idea that any political party owns anybody because of his skin color, and tell Reid exactly where her racial loyalty test belongs. In the garbage. Black Americans don't owe Republicans their votes. They don't owe Democrats their votes either. And they certainly don't owe Joy Reid an explanation. Thank you for your attention. Like, share, follow, and consider supporting the work.